Welcome to today's author reading of Family Bank Blueprint by yours truly, Stephanie Lennon. Let's begin. 7 Catalysts for Change in Our Home, where we began. Finance 101. What is money? Where does it come from? Where does it go? Nobody knew. The kids viewed credit cards as an infinite supply of funds. 2. Saying yes. The children frequently asked us to buy stuff for them. Everyone got frustrated with no. 3. Household participation. The children weren't pulling their age-appropriate weight at home. It was time to engage them in the household labor force. 4. Income. The kids wanted the ability to earn and needed safe, age-appropriate ways to do so. 5. Spending with purpose. Cash burned holes in little pockets. They wanted to spend it as soon as possible. 6. Accounting. Being unmarked, cash drove countless disputes over how much belonged to whom. 7. Future planning. The kids needed to learn how to handle small change while they were young so they could handle the big bucks when they're grown. Why you need a family bank. You want to raise your kids to be kind, responsible, capable, successful adults, the kind of grown children who stand on their own 2 feet. You strive to arm your children with the skills they need. Some training will come from the schools they attend. Other skills are survival-based, so they can take care of themselves physically in the civilized world and in the natural one. You teach them empathy and social awareness so they navigate human relationships and finesse. In short, you raise them to adult smoothly. But are you teaching them enough about managing their money and constrained resource decision making? An area of training I see systemically lacking is personal finance. Schools have started teaching this a little. Some parents teach it and others don't. Society puts a damper on the discussion where most circles consider it rude to discuss money too concretely. Imagine seeing these posts in your social feed. I got a $6,000 raise at $132,000 now, super psyched. Check out my new ride. Car payments will be $775 for 5 years. Hope I don't wreck before payments, lols. I'm struggling this month to make my $1,100 rent payment. Hit me up with leads for part-time work or donate to my GoFundMe. My great aunt Sally died. I didn't know her at all, but she left me $500,000. Can you believe my luck? My student loan just hit $250,000. Ah! When you imagine reading these posts, do you pity the poster? Are you jealous? Are you taken aback at the honesty? Would you post these? Most people would readily put their weight, cholesterol level, and blood pressure numbers online than their financial details. We shy away from sharing what we feel is intensely personal information. Together, physical health and financial health correlate deeply to longevity and the quality of life during this lifespan. Get this. In the United States, a 14.6-year gap in life expectancy has been reported between the richest 1% of the male population and the poorest 1%. Over 14 years of difference. That's insane. Amongst women, the gap is 10.1 years. Shouldn't we be discussing finances more openly when our kids' lives depend on it? While this hush-hush protocol may be the culture we live in today, I'm concerned when these details are equally secret within the family. My goal is to help you crack open the financial conversations in your home, specifically with your young children. Your goal is to raise kids who can independently manage their own households and finances, who live 10 to 15 years longer on average in health and prosperity, who do not call asking for money or boomerang home to live in your basement indefinitely. You must protect your nest egg to fund your retirement instead of their adult survival. If this scares you because you don't feel confident in yourself, it's okay. Setting up a family bank is not difficult, and you do not need to understand fancy Wall Street stuff to succeed. Take it one piece at a time, implement the elements that resonate most with you, and watch what happens. Experiment, play, make it fun. You'll be proud of what your children are capable of. We launched our family bank in our home when our 3 kids were 5, 7, and 9. It changed our household dynamics for good. Here's our story with a blueprint of how you can implement it too. Kids need to understand money. Personal Finance 101. Husband and I launched our children's financial journey 4.5 years ago. At that time, none of the 3 understood what money is, where it comes from, and where it goes. They just knew they wanted control of it, and the sooner the better. In our home, money is a finite resource that requires ongoing creative and thoughtful management. At the outset, our children didn't understand this. They knew that money is powerful, just as they intuitively understood that food, shelter, and allegedly video games are essential to life. The kids long to engage with money on both the earning and burning sides of the equation. It's part of adulting, and what kid can't wait to grow up? All three children routinely asked me why I had to leave home and go to work. At the beginning of 2019, 7-year-old little man held me up as I attempted to rush out the door. He beseeched me. Why can't you stay with us? When are you going to retire? Little man, I work so we can pay the bills. We must pay for our house, the electricity, and food. But Mommy, your credit cards pay for that. At that moment, it was clear that our children had major disconnects in their mind on how money works. I made the decision to be a few minutes late to help him understand. On a small stool, I looked him eye to eye. Yes, little man, but we have to pay back the credit card companies. He paused. Oh, you buy the credit cards then? Yes, close enough. That's the right concept. I go to work to buy the credit cards to pay for things. Oh, okay. I love you, Mommy. Have a good day at the office. And off I went. A year later, our three chickadees had dramatically advanced their understanding of money. The 3 years since then drove even more insights. They learned how to make spending decisions within the framework of their income and savings. They make trade-offs between reusing materials on hand versus buying new. Sometimes they forego small, immediate gratifications to save up for large purchases. They find ways to negotiate amongst themselves and partner together to get what they want sooner. The oldest started a neighborhood pet care business when she was 9. At 13, she formed an LLC and opened a business bank account for it. In short, they have more ownership of their financial future. The conversation no longer is, Mommy, will you buy me? But rather, I have some number of dollars in my account. I'd like to buy whatever it is. The middle child is saving up his own money for a trip to WrestleMania. By using a few simple principles and sticking to them, your young household can go through an equally astonishing transformation. This book shares both the philosophy and practical methods for teaching your kids how to harness their finances. The punchline: give them more control over the money you are already planning to spend on them and for them. You are already planning to spend it, so there's no change to your budget. You just let them learn how to practice using it. The philosophy is about mindset and empowerment. Allow your children to make financial decisions. Help them experience the processes of earning, spending, and saving money. The better they become at making $5, $20, and $100 decisions now, the better they'll be at $50,000, $200,000, and $1,000,000 decisions as adults. As with all skills, practice builds muscle memory. Constrain resources with an abundance mindset. Do you sometimes feel like Dr. No? Can I do this? No. Will you buy me that? No. I want this other thing. No. Can we go to Disney World? No. Perhaps you've become the champion negotiator. None of us enjoy being mean mom or dad McMeanerson. I don't like saying no any more than they like hearing it. It adds negativity to the home. Children aren't born understanding the concept of constrained resources. They need to learn how to weigh 2 or more options and make informed decisions on how to use their money toward whatever desires they have. Without ample practice, how will your children gain the skills to make smart money decisions in the future? Teach them how to manage their money and how to rebound from going broke, which they should, while the stakes are low. It will reduce the likelihood of them going broke when it matters and lower the probability of looking for you to bail them out at a higher cost. Despite the immediate distress this may cause, they will build confidence, resilience, and money management skills. Constrained decision making is problem solving at its core. Foster a prosperity mindset. It's easy to fall into the classic can't afford it thinking. Identify what you can control. Look for solutions. Consider the different angles to get what you want. This is the mindset that we want our children to embrace. The easiest way to shut down spending discussions are rooted in a poor or scarcity mindset. Once we pivot the discussion to one of wealth and abundance, the discussion richens. Tap into your kids' natural creativity. The poor mindset: we can't afford it. Prosperity mindset: how can we afford this? Where can we cut back to make it work? Poor mindset: it's too expensive. Prosperity mindset: is it worth it? Is the price negotiable? What are other options? Poor mindset: money doesn't grow on trees. Prosperity mindset: how can we create extra income or make different choices? Poor mindset: we're not Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk, or fill in your blank. Well, prosperity mindset: let's look at how Jeff Bezos made his fortune and see what behaviors we can adopt too. Poor mindset: do you think I'm made of money? Prosperity mindset: I'm not willing to spend my money on it, but you are welcome to save up and spend yours. Rather than focusing on not having enough, frame the conversation around how much it will take and what needs to happen to get there. It may take some time to save up with some other sacrifices along the way. Brainstorm how to bring the request to life instead of shutting it down. By focusing everybody's energy on the solution, you are sending the signals that anything is possible if you work deliberately toward it. You must make trade-offs to optimize spending where it matters most to you. Initiate these discussions around dining out, going to the movies, having large versus small birthday parties, buying the 100th Pokemon card set, vacation planning, deciding which college to attend, and answering questions about why your car is a lot older than the Joneses next door. Involving the entire family in the decision-making process is vital for the kids' education. The priorities that we set and the priorities that you set naturally will be different. Every family is unique. Make sure that your family comes to a consensus on what it values to guide your discussions and financial decision making. The kids may decide some sacrifices are not worth it. They may decide they are. That's the life skill to build. It boils down to what will bring you the most joy per dollar spent, one of my most favorite money metrics. Life is full of constrained resources that force choices. Choices are best made when priorities are carefully considered and agreed upon as a family. When we set out on this journey, it was time to expand our conversations. Our insight was to give our children control over more of the money that we were spending on their behalf and to teach them how to make their own financial decisions. New conversations. One of the unexpected benefits of giving children more control over money was that it made our interactions smoother. After a couple months, we started noticing easier exchanges. For example, kid, Mom, will you buy me a boop? I don't want to spend my money on it. It is not important to me. Would you like to spend your money? No? Okay. I told them I wouldn't spend my money, but they could spend theirs. That stopped many conversations in their tracks. I didn't have to tell them no. It was easier than anticipated, and this repeated it many times. Drop mic. I make 3 points. 1. Parents do not have to be the bad guys, always saying no. Habitual no's provide constant fodder to rebel against and to resent. Helping each figure out how to afford what they want is fun. It shifts the conversation into a productive space and adds positivity to our relationship. 2. We actively discuss monetary value and family values. The value of the thing to me, 0, and what I'm willing to pay for it, 0, versus the value of the thing to them, greater than 0, and what they're willing to pay, which is debatable. Rather than tell them how to make buying decisions, I show them how I do it when we're out shopping together. I consider the price and what it's worth to me. If price and value don't match, I don't spend my money. Each can make their own assessment. 3. This adds skin in the game with their own tangible resources. If your kids are not willing to spend their hard-earned money, why should you? Skin in the game encourages thoughtful decision-making and often better caretaking of the item or greater appreciation of the experience later. We learn by observing others, followed by practicing new behaviors ourselves. With time and repetition, the behaviors grow into habits. Our kids will be making automatic trade-off decisions based on what they observe us doing now, coupled with the muscle memory they build as they get ample opportunities to practice. The path to abundance. Our goal is to teach personal finance to the next generation. It isn't rocket science. Buy less stuff, spend less than you earn. If you want to spend more, earn more first. Have a bigger plan. Delay immediate gratification for more meaningful spending later. Put your savings dollars to work for you. Never forget the tax man. Don't waste energy letting taxes upset you because they're inevitable. Sure, you can employ some very sophisticated tax strategies, but that's not the first thing your children need to master as they enter the workforce. Discussion for another book, another time. I have no doubt that most readers of this book already have the financial knowledge. Here's a proven system for teaching these principles to your children in a hands-on, practical way. Our shared goal is that your kids learn how to make constrained resource decisions in an age-appropriate fashion. Give them more control at a very early age. Through repeated practice, they will develop the behaviors and habits that will lead to abundance for the rest of their lives. Children who know how to manage their own finances grow into adults who confidently stand on their own 2 feet. With luck, they will also pass this on to your grandkids.